And we're live. Serbia playing host to Ireland. World Cup qualifier, Group A, opening game. I'm buzzing for this, lads.
I'm buzzing for this, but I want the RTE player to stop being so shite.
Oh, stop! Yeah, I know it's fucking acting up here. We'll have to make sure we're on the same like seconds or whatever. Yeah.
I might actually switch to Sky just to save myself the pain of trying to organise it.
Yeah, the RTE player's a nightmare, isn't it?
It's so bad, like.
Yeah, shocking, like.
Yeah, here we go.
National anthem's playing. Here we go, lads. It's getting real. Let's go Ireland, says Abner Ortiz. Yeah, absolutely. Cheers from California. Tuning in from California. Legend.
Very good. Jeez, it must be about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the day. Sitting at work watching Ireland.
Having a few beers. Midday.
You'd need it to get through this, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not now. Like, it's new era and all.
You're in California. Go outside. It's probably sunny.
True. Yeah, true that. Oh, lads. Come on, you boys in green. Let's go. Happy days. I'm going to try and keep some sort of a rough estimate of the time on the screen as well, on our screen, just in case you aren't tuning into the game. But yeah.
Yeah, he is, yes.
National anthem's done.
Just looking at the
beer in one hand, drinking milk. Brilliant. And the Serbia lineup is on the screen. Dragan Stojkov is their manager. He's only new, isn't he? I think as well.
Yeah, recently appointed legendary player. Oh God, the screen's gone here.
I think that might be a few seconds ahead of you or something here.
Yeah, we'll try and link it up then, and maybe pause it for like a second or something. If we can celebrate before us. Fuck.
There is nothing worse.
Oh, stuff. Yeah.
Here we go.
Run through our score predictions again. As what were they again? So it was Breen. You went with 0-0 or slight narrow Serbia win. Yeah. Has that changed? Getting up to kick off now?
No. Let's be totally honest here. No.
Limo, you went with 1-0 Ireland win. Optimistic.
Yeah, it has
to
be.
What are RTE showing information as I wonder? It'd be interesting to see.
The 4-3-3, they just put it up there.
Oh, is 4-3-3, Doherty in right wing, Connolly on the left, Robinson through the middle. I don't think that's what it's going to be. I don't think that's right.
No.
The Doherty-Coleman experiment was, do you remember Mick McCarthy did that? We played Doherty right mid against Gibraltar. And it didn't work at all.
In fairness, I don't think that game worked. In fairness, I think he was quite harsh on Doherty in that game. Like, we were pretty poor.
Yeah. Looking at our bench, lads, who do you think is going to could potentially make a difference?
You're
looking at maybe Robbie Brady coming on potentially.
Yeah, Brady, McLean off the bench is probably long as well. I think there's pace off the bench in terms of pace and energy. With McLean, I don't really rate McLean as a footballer, but his enthusiasm and the energy he brings, especially coming off the bench against a tired defence, it reminded me kind of Stephen Hunt circa 2008 to 2011, causing a lot of kind of hassle when he comes off the bench. So that'll be interesting.
Definitely.
I think I kind of harking back a bit further, probably Niall Quinn, a different kind of energy, but caused a bit more of kind of chaos when he came on for Ireland towards the end of his career, like the famous goal against Germany, went up front and all of a sudden it was something completely different to deal with. So it'll be interesting to see.
Definitely. Looks like a front two already, doesn't it? Actually, looks like a front two with Robinson just off Connolly maybe, but it doesn't look like Doherty's me right wing, I don't think. What he used 29, 30, 31.
Mine hasn't kicked 32. Off yet, but I'm watching on Sky because the RTE player wouldn't work. So just go on without me.
He hasn't kicked off
It's just kicked off now, yeah. So I'm about 30 seconds behind, but I don't mind that. I actually sometimes, I say it's terrible when you hear a goal, but sometimes it's like, all right, I know it's going to happen, so I'm going to concentrate a bit more on it.
Yeah.
What are you, Liam? You're what? One what?
120 currently.
120. Would you pause for like 20 seconds? Possibly.
Yeah, no matter.
Because it's just because I'm just really devastated or something like that. So I'm 1-5, 1-6, 1-7.
I'm 36.
Serbia 2. We're getting a few Serbia fans in the comments. Serbia 2-0 win. Thank Christ Jeff Hendrick isn't starting.
That came from a Serbian lad as well.
Yeah. Serbian Newcastle fan. So it's an Alan Brown corner here for me anyway.
Yeah, that's where I am.
Taken short.
We've just been awarded the corner for me.
Oh, really? Oh. Can we try get on the same? Will you try get on the same? Because it'd be better if we did it, I reckon. What are you at, Breen?
They're currently showing Stephen Kenny and his name is in place. 114.
114.
15, 16.
I'm going to stop 17. At 147.
Okay, I'll give you a shout when 144 comes back in. Yeah. Nothing happens from this corner, I assume.
Yeah. Shane Duffy isn't playing. Nothing happened.
Oh, they went short. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder how long Connolly has in his legs. That could be a substitution.
I'm at 43 now, so I want to start.
Right, I'll start playing.
Yeah, so I'm 47.
It's just gone back to the live for me. Fuck's sake.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. Honestly.
Back it.
Wait, here we go.
Ooh. It's going to be one of these.
That Ireland jersey, that jersey, away jersey is lovely. I wasn't really sold on it, but yeah,
it's nice.
Now. I got the You Boys in Green white one. It's over there the other day. It's a lovely jersey.
Yeah. What are you at, Liam? What are you at time-wise?
Just 3:15.
3:15, all right, fair. Slightly behind you, but be grand.
I see we've got the first comment of the night about my hair, which is just nice.
Oh, Sam. Jesus, that hairdo. On which channel do you watch, guys? From Nikola Djokovic. Sky or RTE, I presume you're Serbian yourself, so I'm not too sure what the story is over there now.
It was a poor tackle, actually, by Doherty. Oof.
Ireland presses. It seems to be pressing a little bit.
Yeah,
Alan
and
Brown,
it looks like there's two lads up front.
Yeah.
And then Brown kind of in the middle, like in the pocket.
Yeah. Cullen and Malumbi are kind of built for that kind of pressing game.
Yeah.
Kind of good.
They're energetic, aren't they?
Yeah.
Legs.
Setting the tone.
Jason might be similar in that regard as well, I feel, in terms of quite an energetic, tenacious, hard-working player, and a bit of quality on the ball as well. But I find that with Jason Knight, just seeing him being given the armband by Rooney already, like that just says a lot about him. I find that,
yeah, especially what is he, 19, 20?
19, 20. Like it shows a lot about his character, kind of thing. If he's getting the captain's armband at that age,
yeah.
Travers slipping, poor kick from Travers there.
Early nerves,
definitely. Yeah. I'd say he's shitting himself. He's absolutely shitting himself.
Is this
fun
the first
fact?
time?
I've played against Mark Travers. That's a fun fact for the
it's mad. You've probably scored against him.
Probably have over the years. Yeah, played against him a good bit. He was at Lucan. Him and had Conor Masterson in front of him at Lucan for a few years.
That's a good side.
Oh, well done, Coleman.
Don't say that. What's happening?
Is this the first time Connolly's played through the middle of Ireland?
Yes, it would be, I believe. Yeah, he's always off the left, I think, beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, I think I know the Coleman thing you're talking about. Coleman does really well.
It's good to see Coleman back, though, I think.
It was ridiculous that he wasn't playing in the first place, I think, anyway.
Well, he was kind of getting out of the Everton team, wasn't he, at the start of the season?
A little bit, yeah. But you'd always think you'd find a way to get Seamus Coleman into our side.
Oh, no, listen, I agree, but I kind of can see the...
and Doherty was in the form of his life, I suppose, as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, before he made the move to Spurs, yeah. Delighted he made that move.
Do you think he needs to bounce some Spurs in the summer?
No.
No,
I think it... I'd be interested to see... I don't think Mourinho is going to...
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Last particularly long there, so it'll be interesting to see whoever comes in to replace him, what they do. And in fairness to him, I think when Spurs signed him, everyone thought that's actually a really good move for him and Spurs. Aurier hadn't exactly been setting the world alight, so who Anore has actually probably been in decent form, probably his best form playing for Spurs. So that hasn't helped either, like him not being able to get in ahead of him. But when he has played, it hasn't been great. Like it's been a pity.
And it was actually in the recent squad with Aston Villa. He was left out he wasn't on the bench. He wasn't in the starting 11. Like completely left.
He played the
Europa League game, wasn't it?
I think he played the North London.
North London derby.
North London derby, he wasn't great. No, he was unfortunate that Gareth Bale just decided he wasn't doing any defending for the entire game.
Smith Rowe had him on toast, didn't he?
Yeah, Tierney just had him as well. But it was 2v1 the entire time, and you know, there's only so much you can do. Like, and then I think there was a couple of times he got in the ball in the second half when Spurs were pressing for an equalizer.
Tadic.
What is it?
Tadic's qualities are starting to show now. 7 minutes in.
You scared me, Liam. Fuck's sake. That scared the shit out of me. Yeah, no, Tadic. Mine's fucking buffering here, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, Tadic is he's the danger man. Like, I mean, it's the obvious thing to say, but like,
captain as well.
He's a quality footballer.
Yeah.
That was a good delivery.
Yeah, interesting start from Ireland. I suppose they're trying to get on the front foot a bit, but it's just difficult to establish themselves, I suppose, against a side like this. Serbia are so strong, you feel, across the park. Like, they're so physical. So it is difficult to kind of impose yourself upon them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can see what Serbia are trying to do, get on the ball and, you know, get an overlap maybe on the... It's actually, you know, it's one of those things that... Sorry, my thing just stopped here, so I don't know what my point about Serbia was going to be, but yeah, like they look like a decent footballing side. We thought that it was just kind of new manager, new style, wondering what's going to happen. It's only been 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, so
yeah.
It's just good to see Ireland actually kind of trying to play in the front foot for once.
Yeah, exactly, and it is going to take time for that to come good under Kenny. Like, he's trying to revolutionize 20 plus years of, even more than that, of kind of the similar kind of football. So it's going to take time to implement.
Very true. Very true.
A lot of Serbia fans looking for us to show the screen.
They don't have it live in Serbia. That's mad.
Yeah, that's right. You think
I assume it's on like a pay TV channel, is it?
Yeah, it must be
Serbian viewers.
Because I think it's like a rule, isn't it? That, like, because obviously the BBC always get the England games. Like, it is a rule that the national broadcaster gets the games.
But that's based on your country. So there's a list.
Oh, okay.
In the UK, there's I can't remember what the list is called, and it's like must-haves, must be on Freeview TV. So in Ireland, it's like the All Ireland finals, World Cup and European qualifiers, the Olympics, World Cups, European Championships. I think the Grand National, and a couple of others. So it depends on your country.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is it's a great thing. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, as many people as possible. Football should be always available. For me to the masses. So having it on Freeview is. People give out about RT. Now I'm giving out about RT time. The RT player been shot, but at least they're showing again.
Yeah, it's something, I suppose. It's constantly lagging for me, buffering and stuff, though.
Oh, nice bit of play there by Robinson.
Callum Robinson's the interesting one. He's been kind of dropped out of the West Brom side recently. He's been in the under-23s. So it's a poor enough West Brom side. So you'd like to think he'd be getting first team football there. I think if they obviously kind of destined for the drop now, Allardyce probably won't be with them next season, will he? So
no.
You'd think a new manager probably, but does he use him in the championship, because he's a very good championship player. So
yeah, Slaven Bilic liked him. You know, so I have to say that you know he is obviously a good footballer. Just maybe doesn't suit the style that Allardyce is playing with West Brom.
Lump it long kind of thing. Yeah.
But it is disappointing that he's been kind of sent down to the 23s and not really been around
Because they do have a few good players, man, Dean Gana and Pereira and stuff, and then they've the new sign. I think it's Diagne or something up top. The new signing.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah, but so it is. You kind of understand why he's not starting, but you'd like to think he'd maybe in and around the team. So it is a weird one, I suppose. But
I think his the places for him to play are kind of limited, given the style and given that maybe his physical attributes don't suit what they're trying to play. As Irish Footy Blog just says in the comments there, nobody suits Sam's style, which is a fair point probably in modern football. But I think if he was to move to another side, I'm trying to think of a similar kind of West Brom-esque side off the top of my head, even like a Fulham, like
Fulham or something.
Sheffield United. He was at Sheffield United before, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, like that kind of side that tried to play football.
Yeah.
It probably suit him more. Not that Sam isn't trying to play football, but like they're trying to play a particular style.
Could see him with Norwich or something next season. Just given
he
has that Premier League.
Yeah.
Ida something or Ida. We haven't spoken about Ida. Obviously not in the squad because of injury, but like I think it's disappointing for him. Like he looked like he was doing well in the few Nations League games he played, and was kind of building something with Connolly to the left.
Injury was annoying for me. He scored a goal since he returned, I think, and then obviously injured again. So it is a shame. Hopefully he can stay fit next season. Norwich team's been tough this year though. Obviously they're flying in the Championship. They're top of the league. Pukki's banging them in. So probably wouldn't have got much football anyway. But maybe a loan move or something could have been good for him.
Yeah, but I think is it Daniel Farke's manager? Like I think he rates
him. He does. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So sometimes you're kind of saying, "All right, he'll go off to." Someone in the comments are saying Kosovo with Serbia. I don't really recall any of us suggesting otherwise. Okay. But as about Ida, like I don't know if he, sometimes it's better off in a. You can probably make an argument to go on loan, but if he's liked by the manager, he's going to get some time, maybe not as much as you'd like. Maybe it's a good thing,
Dara O'Shea coming into the side, but maybe a surprise over Duffy potentially. Well, it's not really a surprise given the form of the season, but Dara O'Shea's another one that's kind of been in and out under Allardyce a little bit. He was really thrived under Slaven Bilic as well. I think Dara O'Shea, if he goes back down to the Championship, he'd be a top Championship player, but I think he's probably good enough for a Premier League move, potentially. I think a team could look at him, obviously only 20, 21 still, as a good option. He's versatile, he can play right full, left full, centre half. I think he's a good option for maybe a promoted Championship side or something like to look at.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a very good player. He's one of those players that you say could develop into a really, really solid Premier League centre half if he gets the right opportunity and maybe the right manager to play under. But like seeing him on the ball is kind of my the thing at the moment. You say, oh, he's a centre back. Well, can he play football? And having seen him fleetingly get on the ball for Sam Allardyce, he's done well. He did really well under Slaven Bilic. Bilic loved him. So has a lot of potential. And we've always been kind of blessed with decent centre halves. Maybe not ball playing centre halves, but he could be the next generation of that.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Kieran Clark has been worse on not much happening in the game, really. We're kind of not an awful lot, and I feel like that probably suits us a little bit. Just kind of ease our way into it. If you get to halftime, get to halftime 0-0. Get in the second half might create a few chances potentially, but the more boring the better from my point of view in the first half. Yeah,
especially the first 15 minutes. You just don't want to give away a goal early and
let the likes of Travers settle in and stuff.
Definitely,
they're comfortable. Chance here on the right hand side. I'm not sure if anything happens here. Liam probably knows, but after the dreadful ball. Was that Doherty, was it?
Oh, it was, yeah.
It's really poor.
See, I don't mind Doherty playing further up. It's just defence-wise, I'd be a bit worried.
Yeah. It does look like Brown's in between Connolly and Robinson there, doesn't it? It does look like he's in that 10 role. So it's kind of like nearly a front three because Brown's kind of pressing centre backs on the ball. An interesting one. It's like they're kind of wide forwards, aren't they? Connolly and Robinson aren't out and out strikers. They're not like poachers. They're not going to stay in the box for you. They will.
Yeah.
They're kind of wide players as well. So Brown
They're quite similar in like striking.
Firmino role nearly, like
That Doherty down the right hand side there, and he gave the ball away in a poor cross, whatever. But the move, like that came from a goal kick straight through the middle. Great run. I think it was Malumbi or Cullen. I couldn't actually see which one, but I've never seen an Ireland player do that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely promising. Definitely promising. The back three, I'm liking Clark on the left. Clark is so perfectly suited for that as well, isn't he? Like the left foot, centre half. I really like that. In the side, the back three, I think Coleman. Dara O'Shea has Coleman beside him, has Clark beside him, so much experience.
Yeah.
I feel like that'll just make him feel 10 feet tall nearly. Looking at the players to either side, and knowing he has that responsibility of being in the centre as well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the start we've made. First 15 been pretty solid.
What do you think of that comment there from Evan Nolan saying we were really going to miss Duffy on set pieces? Would have played him for that reason.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Similar thinking. I would have been similar thinking actually, to be honest.
I think it's a good point, but I think if we're going to evolve and move past just being a set piece team, you do at some point have to say, right, we have to move on here and we have to try something different. Like Clark's a threat, obviously not as much of a threat maybe as Duffy, but there is still a threat there.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Do you think Anthony Barry coming into the side or coming into the coaching setup had an impact on the formation change? Because I found it weird that we didn't try out this 3 at the 5-2, because it seems so obvious that we're a 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it.
I know what's about to happen, Liam.
No way. Yes! Get him! Alan Brown!
Come on!
I take it back about Alan Brown.
Yes.
Set pieces. Nah, Duffy. We don't need Duffy.
Oh my god! I'm gonna update this. What a goal! That's a beautiful Callum Robinson on the left hand side, crossed in. Alan Brown, great header. What a goal! Get in.
I was trying so hard not to celebrate. I was like, surely it'll be.
No, to celebrate.
I was like, surely it'll be a few seconds.
Yeah, Callum Robinson.
My phone lit up, so I was like, here we go.
Yes. Oh, that's a beautiful goal as well. Alan Brown, great header. That is smashing.
Right, I do have to apologise.
Get Duffy on!
I do have to apologise to Alan Brown for bad mouthing him before the start of this game.
Yeah. What a goal! 1-0.
Wow. Who saw this going?
I did say actually, my prediction. I said Ireland will come out of the blocks, go 1-0 up, and then we'll be holding on towards the end. So I'm hoping I am right with that. I'm hoping we push on, but
1-0.
Wow, that is brilliant.
Lovely knee slide as well in celebration.
Yeah. Really great celebration as well. Really great the celebration.
Yeah, because those can go wrong very easily, and then all of a sudden you're a meme.
Yeah. Book the flights to Qatar. Book the flights. Oh my god, lads, that is
just what we needed.
It's positive, isn't
and
it?
Actually,
like
in the build-up to the cross, his pass outside of the boot across the pitch to Robin to the left-hand side was excellent.
Yeah, 100%. He is a good player on the bound, isn't he? Like he is. I felt bad from. I know I'm saying this now in hindsight.
From me, yeah.
I did.
What I said in the preview. No, but yeah, he's doing well.
I felt bad from when he I think he missed a penalty, didn't he? In the game against, who was it? Slovakia, wasn't it? I mean, he missed a penalty against them. Yeah, and he came on. He missed a great chance as well. But he was positive when he came on. He's a positive player. Like I feel like Kenny does like him, so I'm delighted for him to get off this. It's so weird to see us score a goal. Lads. Honestly, it's so weird to see us score a goal.
It's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, when it was going in the net, it was like slow motion. I was like, "No, we're not scoring."
Yeah. Someone's asking, Ilija, where are you gone now, pal? I presume that's a Serbian who was chatting in the comments. Serbia win, Ireland lost. He was saying before. Oh, lads, I am delighted with that. You need to keep the head screwed on. Not
only was that a goal, it was a goal from open play.
Yeah, exactly. First one in what, 2 years?
Yes, Doherty, Switzerland, wasn't it? Or Denmark.
18 months or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Chance for, is that Doherty number 7? Hooks it over the bar for Serbia corner. Well, just 38 people watching. Do appreciate if you can drop a like on the stream if you're enjoying it. Ireland 1-0 up. You must be enjoying it, surely. And do subscribe as well. It is much, much appreciated. We're on the road to 3K, so we're getting there. Mm-hmm. But corner for Serbia, presumably what's going to happen here, but fuck's sake. That's clear. Lovely. Because I wasn't even paying attention to what Liam's face went and then the group brain was just like, oh, I can tell my Liam what's going to happen here. Alan Brown's head's it. I was like, oh, yes, get in.
Oh, God. Comment there from my mate from Germany, Johnny. Or Germany, Denmark. He's watching the game, watching us at the same time.
Johnny, cheers from Denmark. So great to see you lads being fun. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate the comment, Johnny.
Get out.
It's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling. This feels alien.
Feels like we won the World Cup. Let's be honest.
Don't want to get ahead of myself.
Are great at is keeping clean sheets. Let's hope it continues. Yeah, long may it continue. Oh, if we won here, I think we can beat Portugal home and away and win the group. Easy.
Absolutely.
It took me a second to go. Sorry, what?
Do you think we'll play this kind of formation against the likes of Portugal?
See, because we don't play Portugal for till September. It's hard to know. Like, depending on the personnel, who's in form, who's played themselves into form, it'll be a whole new season. So, you don't know who's going to be at where. Will Parrott get a move or a permanent move or another loan move and start playing more regularly at a higher level, maybe. I wonder about Connolly. I know he's quite liked by Graham Potter, but from what I kind of read in the media, is that they weren't particularly happy about the COVID breach.
You wouldn't be, though. It's so stupid, isn't it?
No, it is. Yeah, it's obviously stupid. But yeah, I wonder will they, if they loan him out, I don't think they'll sell him. But, maybe he's in need of a little bit of a move. Kind of struggled a little bit in front of goal this year. So
you feel like they would sign a striker as well because they've created a lot of chances. Like their XG, stupid thing to talk about.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well back there, Mope and stuff. They're probably all ahead of him in the pecking order and stuff as well. So, but Conley does have a high ceiling, doesn't he? I feel like he does have a high ceiling.
Yeah, definitely.
It seems like his head sometimes doesn't seem screwed on sometimes or something.
Well, he's very young, like in context as well.
At Brighton.
And he just broke up with a girlfriend as well. So obviously that's
through no fault of his own. Dave Mean says, "How are the men?" All good, Dave. All good. How are you yourself? A few Serbian flags coming in. Go on, Chris Jericho. Says Michael Keenan.
Shocking. That's comment number 2.
Yeah.
Irish footy. Sorry, I don't know. You've probably already seen this, but it was the Brown or was it Malumbi just closing down the centre half there.
Yeah. No, I thought we might nick something there. Transfer. I'm looking at Liam's face the whole time. Back to the match. They're getting so many corners. Shit myself. Corners are nerve-wracking, aren't they? Especially as the game goes on as well. They'll get even worse.
Duffy on.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Duffy come on if we're 1-0 up in 6-7 minutes potentially. But there's no reason to think that the 3 at the back at the moment won't be able to deal with it. When did you last score in a national game? Been a while. Johnny asks.
Bulgaria
1-1 draw.
Shane Duffy.
Yeah. Could you imagine, like, Stephen Kenny...
Which was in September, by the way.
September, was it? Yeah. To answer the question fully. But Stephen Kenny's had a lot of critics, I suppose. Like, maybe not like realistic fans, but a lot of people on Twitter and stuff saying Kenny out and stuff like that. And it's been so out of line, like, in terms of what he's had to deal with in his first... I don't think any Irish manager has ever had this much bad luck. Even off the field as well, with the whole video gate and stuff like that as well. So I'd love for him to just get the win tonight and just shut up a lot of people, wouldn't it, I feel?
Yeah, there's definitely certain elements within Irish football, be it fans, other coaches and players and the media that aren't enamored with him for whatever reason. They just aren't major fans of him, and I think that's disappointing. Or not disappointing. Like I if you have problems with someone for whatever reason, that's fine. But I think to overblow what's been happening and to exaggerate so many different things, it just does a service to everything, not just Stephen Kenny. And all these stories that were coming out before Christmas, you kind of were like, where is, I mean, Seamus Coleman's press conference the other day was very telling when he actually looked quite annoyed at the suggestion that
the media,
like,
it was a ridiculous article, wasn't it? It was such a stupid article. Like,
it was a ridiculous article.
The headline was
humiliation or something, wasn't
humiliation. Yeah, give it a rest. Like,
so I think there is those elements that are always going to exist. You can't have everyone going, "Oh, he's amazing," and no one criticizes him. It should be the same for every manager, but he should be given a fair go at it, and everything 100%. Should be taken in context. I think there is also an element on the other side of that, whereas I'd say I'd include myself in this, that people from within the League of Ireland and certain elements are like, no, we want to do him well, and we're kind of almost sensitive to criticism of him, which is a perfectly reasonable thing as well. But we have to be quite fair and say, right, if something's bad, let's call a spade here and not go, okay, well, And there was times in the Nations League where I thought, right, look, taking everything into account, that still is a poor decision or it's a poor choice here or there. But overall, I think so far he's been extremely unfortunate with the injury situation and
definitely
the COVID situation and people missing out because they were like 5 centimeters too close on a plane to XYZ. But
false COVID, doesn't it? It's a false positive.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is that the players all seem to be quite happy.
Penalty shootout, wasn't it, in Euros? Like, it was a penalty shootout. Yeah. Like, it wasn't like, it was, look at the draw, like, it's 50
in a tight game. Now you could argue we probably had the better chances, and if Hurrihan hits the ball either side of that defender, all of a sudden we were, playing the North, and who knows what happens then,
Yeah, exactly. But just on a different note here, lads, Cullen looks really energetic in the midfield, doesn't he? Putting challenges in and stuff. He looks really, really energetic. And Malumbi beside him as well. They both look like they're it's kind of a good pivot, isn't it? The pair of them.
Yeah. We spoke about that, earlier, that they bring a lot of energy. And they're kind of probably a similar mold to, someone like maybe Glenn Whelan, who had been the stalwart in that Irish midfield for so long. More mobile and probably better on the ball, but there's so much energy. Like that. I'm just watching the Malumbi's just giving away a free kick there, but like getting himself about.
Exactly,
that's great to see.
You don't mind it, like little fellas.
They're kind of at completely different parts of their career as well, compared to like Robbie Brady and Hendrick, who are on the way out. They want to come in, prove themselves, kind of make a name.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think unlike say Brady and Hendrick there, if Brady and Hendrick are going to find, because these boys are playing quite well, they find that they struggle to get back in the team, they're then going to want to say, right, well, I'm going to have to get myself in form here and be better than those players.
Yeah,
it can only benefit the team as a whole.
When was there ever like players knocking on the door? And like Hendrick's been so comfortable there for 4 or 5 years now. He's been so ever since year 2016. He's been so comfortable. No one really, maybe Alan Brown potentially coming through, but no one really knocking on the door now. We've Malumbi, Cullen, I think, has been fantastic. He needed that move to Anderlecht because remember he was with Charlton, I think, last season, and he's really good for them. But it kind of under the radar because it's a team battling relegation to the Championship. But I think he's a fantastic player and he's 24, like he's still coming into the best years of his career. Malumbi's only 21, 22, Jason 19, 20. It's really, really exciting when you actually think about it.
And I think that the move to Anderlecht is kind of in the context of Irish players is so left field. And that's brilliant. You just see more players going to clubs around Europe. Not saying, right, well, I can get an opportunity here. You look at, say, Conor Noss, obviously, of German origin. So it's not a shock that he's playing for Gladbach. But, like, that's fantastic for us, that we've got a player playing around that environment. And then he's going to come and play for the 21s against Wales during the week. And I'm fairly certain his mother is from Alahide.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I think so. Off the top of my, I think I read an interview and they were saying, yeah, he's not from Malahide, so
That's
he's
so
one of the
funny.
parish.
Yeah. Really nice play by Ireland coming up. You might be seeing it now, but really nice move just to kind of get out of trouble.
Yeah.
Really good football. Just knocking it around with confidence, like. I think because I think everyone have been, not everyone, but people have been screaming out for this formation to be tried, and I feel like we should have tried it last year during the Nations League and during the kind of nothing fixtures.
Yeah.
Instead of just being
Especially
launched now.
Bulgaria last. Now, I know they were struggling for player or for fit players and stuff, but why not? Like, you know,
I think he wanted to get a win that one. He just wanted to get try and get a win. I think but 0-0, wasn't it? It was dire. Like
I do wasn't Robinson at one point was out with COVID, and then Connolly had his issues as well, like injuries and COVID himself.
Yeah.
So you could have always wanted them to be the main two, and then kind of you know what I mean.
Ida, I think he likes Ida as well. I think there is a couple of players he does like. I think Malumbi and Ida were and Darrow Shea, of course, were really good for him in the under-21s. Coming up through the ranks, so he does have faith, I feel, in those players, because you do develop relationships with players that you manage and stuff. So
absolutely,
yeah. I think that's why I think Malumbi, we see Malumbi in here overnight, because I think if you had someone coming in from a new manager coming in, he might go a night over on Malumbi based on this season, but that relationship they've built up, Malumbi never let him down, of course. So chance for Sir, is that one, is it? No, Leo.
Good to see Coleman there. Good to see Coleman there. You know, just Coleman doing his thing.
Coleman's is actually very, very good centre half. Like that, the right of a tree, he's excellent. Like the way he marshalled that out and won. I think it's a goal kick, isn't it? Yeah, the way he marshalled that out and for a goal kick. Who's down? Josh Cullen down. That is a concern.
Does it look serious, or is he all right?
I'd be fine, I'd say.
Look, it's his left knee. He's kind of turned it. You'd imagine Jason Knight would come on for him, or a Hendrick.
I'd say Hendrick.
I prefer Knight, but probably Hendrick in fairness.
Just for experience.
I prefer Knight just in terms of... Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to know, but hopefully Josh doesn't have to come off because he's been playing well. He's been energetic and he's been...
I think it's just a cut, yeah. It's just a cut.
It's just a cut. Yeah.
Good bit of trivia there from Johnny in the comments.
Yeah, that's what they're looking back into them now. Bit of Ireland trivia. The new Danish national jersey came out Monday. It has a sound wave pattern in the neck and on the stomach. That is the sound of the entire national arena singing the Danish national anthem in the game versus Ireland 2019. Jesus Christ.
I was there in that game. I was there.
The away one, was it?
Yeah. Is it the away one? I assume it's the away one if it's going to be louder. So.
Yeah. What game was that? The 0-0?
It was the Duffy last minute game, I think. Or it was.
I was at the 0-0, so I think that was the year before.
Wasn't it great if we fell asleep in the game in Denmark?
Yeah.
That was so funny. Falling asleep at the football, actually.
That's tired. A half.
Keith says, big fan of Ida. He honestly has everything. I was looking it up, actually, because we were chatting on about our starting 11s and stuff, and I was saying that I fancied, if we were going with the 4-3-3, I fancied Collins to start tonight because of kind of being a target man and having like a Brady and a Connolly or a Brady and a Robinson or whatever in around him, just because of what we've seen previously. And we were saying like Ida wasn't. I think Griff said Ida isn't really a target man. He started. I was looking up Ida's height. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah,
and he's quick as well. Like he does.
I think he has more than just being a big man and like hold the ball quick, because he's quite good on the ball, and a kind of a good instinct for goal. For you kind of say traditionally a smaller player be more of a poacher, and then a bigger player be a kind of don't really have that killer instinct, but he seems to have it when he gets the opportunity.
I do. I also think Ida's kind of he's similar age to Parrott, but he's kind of one step ahead on like the progression stage, and it's kind of where Parrott needs to go, like get to try get regular national game time. Really,
that's the thing with Parrott is like I feel bad for him because I feel like a lot of people have put pressure on him. And even if you look at like a McGoldrick or something, he never really came into the international fold till he was 28 maybe. So like, yeah, it's hard to like just judge someone so quick. Like he could take a couple of years to get going. Like, and yeah, apart Millwall, he's getting played out of position. I think he's playing left on the left hand side a few times and stuff. Didn't really find his feet, and now at Ipswich he finally got his first goal, which was great to see. So I think with Parrott, it's an interesting one. I think he's one that maybe might take a little bit longer to get going, but I feel like he's a natural goal scorer. Like he's one of them, isn't he? Like,
it's an interesting like the Millwall move not working out and being ended at the time is like, how often like do you really see a player go on loan for a full season and then end up going to a different club on loan during that season? It's not usually they either get recalled and or they just sit on the bench. But the fact that he was recalled and then instantly sent out, obviously Spurs weren't happy with the how things were going. Or maybe Millwall were like, he's not really working out here. But it's an interesting one.
And
he seems to be playing better. Sorry. He seems to be enjoying himself and playing better.
Yeah. I think he's played like 10 games for Ipswich, finally got his first goal. But it's Ipswich is an interesting one because they've had a change of manager since he's come as well, which is a bit annoying for him. Paul Cook has come in. Obviously, he has Irish connections through Sligo Rovers, won the league with them, with Seamus Coleman in the side, actually, interesting fact. But imagine Seamus Coleman in the League of Ireland. Like, it's crazy to think about, isn't it? It's running the show down the right. But Paul Cook there. As a Wigan fan myself, I know what he's all about. We managed us for 3 or 4 years, and he likes to get a settled starting 11. So it's whether if Parrott can get into that settled 11, then it'd be really, really beneficial. But I have a feeling he might not be part of that, just based on, I feel like there's so much pressure just to get results in these divisions, isn't there? In terms of League One and stuff, and getting them up. Like Paul Lambert was sacked from them recently. Like Paul Lambert's a good manager, I think, as well. So much pressure to get results. So I think Parrott, just from being young, I think Paul Cook came out and said that he's doing his work in the wrong areas of the pitch. Like, he's really hard working, but he's doing his work in the wrong areas of the pitch, which
that all comes with learning, though. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Irish Footy Vlogs has a good point. He says, I'm still not sure what Parrott is, to be honest. I completely agree with that. I'm looked at him when I've seen him play, and I've kind of gone, what? Because I remember when he first kind of like started being talked about, a lot of Spurs people were like, "Oh, he's kind of a reincarnation of Harry Kane here," and you're going, "Oh, that's a lot of pressure." First of all, but you're like, "Okay." And then when I've seen him since then, I'm like, "Is he?" But then I can't really place him. As he says in his next comment, he was playing on the wing, he was playing in midfield, and now I didn't think he was a winger or a midfielder, but I'm really there is that kind of curiosity with him going, I wonder what your best position is. If he, as he kind of said in his previous, he's not a lone striker, you're playing off a striker suits him. I think that probably is the case. Just haven't really seen him in there enough. 21s, I suppose he's playing there a bit just off Ida.
They worked well in that setup, I think, didn't they, as well? They worked well together up there.
Yeah.
Because Callum Robinson maybe will drop out of the fold. Maybe if Parrott. Oh fuck! Do you see this thing?
Yeah.
Oh fuck's sake!
Oh, that was it was kind of coming. In fairness,
a little bit. Yeah.
Like we've kind of not pressed them as high, and allowed them to play a bit more football since we scored. A lot of the game has been played in our half since then.
We've sat back, big time.
It's a good goal, in fairness. Like, it's a good move, but it's disappointing. You look at that goal as an attacking team and you go, that was good. And you look at the defending team and go, that's completely preventable.
Good finish. Clinical finish.
Right.
Fuck's sake.
We kind of thought they would score. Yeah, we thought they would score, though.
Yeah. Just keep doing what we're doing, like, I suppose, It's going to take time with the formation as well, isn't it? It's going to take time to fit into that. Vlahovic, I've heard he's in really good form at the moment. I'm not entirely sure who he is, to be honest, but I did hear he's in good form. Obviously being picked, if you're being picked over Mitrovic and Jovic, you definitely have something about you. Like,
in fairness, it's a very good finish.
Very good finish. Yeah, he took it well.
Like, he's taken it very well, and it's a good header from Tadic. But you'd expect, I think it was Clark up against him. You'd expect him to win that header.
Yeah. Has a free Argentina. So obviously a good player. Like,
kind of just have to get to half time now, 1-1.
Yeah, definitely.
That's important.
Regroup. Like,
no, Troy Parody isn't playing. Because there's a comment here.
He's not on the bench either now. Good goal, but yeah, not much pressure from Ireland the last 10 minutes. Yeah, they kind of dipped the last 10, probably dipped a little bit. Out of nothing, a little bit. Yeah, it was kind of clipped forward, wasn't it? It wasn't much hope in the pass. You feel they kind of clipped it towards someone's head. They had it in behind.
It's a good pass if it comes off. It's a stupid pass if it doesn't. Like,
yeah, exactly. But yeah, that is it. That is a blow, a big blow. But yeah, I think we need to remain positive. Like, it was, yeah. Oh, don't say that to me. Is it 2-1?
No.
Oh.
If there's any team that's going to score, it's going to be them.
Yeah,
they have stepped it up. In fairness,
good ball. They're good side, aren't they? Like,
yeah, like they pass the ball around well, but like as we said, that we've dropped off in the last 10-15 minutes. They have stepped up. In fairness, they've lifted the pace. Tadic's getting on the ball more. I mean, what a pass that is.
We need half time as soon as possible, really.
Yeah. Tadic is a brilliant player, and Serbia have top-tier players for top-tier teams. It will be very hard to score another. Yeah, that's a fair point. It would be hard to score another, but you wouldn't write us off, like, I suppose.
If you can score once, you can score twice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, football's a game of random moments that you just have to try and control. So there's always the possibility of goals going in. You just have to be clinical when you get those random opportunities throughout the 90 minutes.
We will get another chance this game as well. We will get another chance.
Yeah.
Need half time to reset. 100%. Yeah, 100% agree with that. But yeah, overall, like, it hasn't been the worst half. If you can get into half time 1-1,
good save, Travers.
Jesus Christ!
They're just starting to cut us open now.
Yeah, we really do need half time ASAP.
Dusan Tadic causing all sorts of problems. Great ball.
Jesus.
Travers, good save. Yeah.
What is that? What? We just need half time.
It was
good to get Travers getting a save is good.
Tadic just shot from a corner.
Did he? Oh, you can see why. You can see why Travers is fucking all over the shop there. He fucking ran into the post. He's at the flatlining himself in the post against the post there. His positioning was really strange there from the corner. You can see why Tadic actually had to go. It actually looks like a nasty one, doesn't it?
He's okay though, I think.
I'd say they're saying, like, if you get a chance, have a go, kind of thing. With knowing our goalkeeper situation,
that little pass that Tadic played for the shot, like, we don't have a player like that. We don't have a player who can kind of be that bridge between, say, defense and your forwards, and just able to play those tiny little balls.
The closest we have maybe is Brady. The closest we'd have, but
we have a player at Cambridge.
Yeah, that is very true. Get him back in the squad. Yeah, get him on the plane.
Brady, was there a few players that you would have actually? Speaking of the squad, would you have had maybe a McGeady in the squad over a Curtis, or would you have had maybe one other one?
I don't rate Ronan Curtis. I've seen enough of him. Both in person and on TV, and I don't really understand what he offers to Ireland. If I'm totally honest, just cannot. Just don't understand why he's been picked now. Maybe that's maybe that's where we are at the moment. It probably 100% is. But I'm a bit I would have picked McGeady. Just he hasn't retired. He's playing extremely well. He's got so many assists in the last few weeks. That pass he played at Wembley last week, in the whatever it's called now.
No, it was Salford.
No, I don't know who they're playing
against. It was against. Poor, no, I can't remember. Yeah, I know the guy you're talking about.
You know, in that Tranmere was Tranmere. That player that he played, that pass that he played was fantastic. Like, we just don't have a player like that, and there is a player at Cambridge. Who, like, I don't understand. I know he's retired, and he's probably trying to, give himself a bit of career longevity by reducing the amount of games that he's playing.
Yeah,
but like, he's unreal. Like, just pick him. I follow Max Rushton on Twitter.
He's a Cambridge fan, isn't he? Yeah,
he's a Cambridge fan, and he's just this guy's the best player to ever play for Cambridge. He's unbelievable.
Easily. Do you ever hear James Madison's story? But they asked James Madison who's the best player you've played it, and he says Wesley Hulham. At Norwich, when he was at Norwich, he said Wesley Hulham. Yeah.
Well, they think he's a god at Norwich.
Yeah.
Right, we got to halftime.
Halftime, few days. Yeah. But no, even the ball in for Brady from that for that goal against Italy and stuff, like, he's just elite. Like, at times he was just elite. Like,
no, the ball in for Brady was phenomenal, but the miss
beforehand. I don't know. They want to bring it up. They want to bring it up, but
God, thought it was over. Thought it was done. But no, like, that's probably an indictment of Irish football that we haven't got another player really in that mold playing at a high enough level to play for the national team. I think Conor Ronan is a similar style to Wesley.
Interesting. He's always a grasshopper.
He's on loan.
Weird, wasn't it? Like a real.
But he's going to, it's a bit like Cullen, kind of going. And I know he's in Slovenia playing randomly for a Slovenian team, but like, if he can get a move to a club like Grasshopper, and he's a permanent move, and he's part of the furniture at a team like Grasshopper, and he's playing in Switzerland where you're not playing week in, week out against English teams, he could probably thrive in there. And then when he comes and plays for Ireland, he has a lot of confidence. He's playing week in, week out at a good standard in context of Irish players. And you say, right, well, why not play him? I really like Conor Ronan. I think he's a great little footballer. He's kind of exactly the kind of footballer I like. To kind of bridge that gap between midfield and the forwards. But yeah, he just kind of really know where his career is going to go. That's probably a worry, maybe. But I think that's always been a worry for Irish under 21 players. They've got so much potential, and then they get to maybe the age of 22, and you think, okay, what now? Like, you're not a young player anymore.
And there is that like kind of social pressure with your mates and stuff. I find that like drinking such a culture in Ireland as well. Like, it is difficult to like miss the weekend nights out and they make those sacrifices. Like, it is so like it's so easy to judge players, but then like, it's so difficult to actually make those sacrifices. I find I think anyway, like, it is hard to judge players for that. Yeah,
if I would say if alcohol had never been invented, the Irish were taking over the world. Probably the same. For football,
as we sipping a beer, like
No, I'm not saying that all Irish players are, they just go out on the drink and it ruins their careers. That's not obviously the case. But there's obviously there's obviously a certain element.
Griff sipping a nice beer himself.
Yeah,
Griff, will you hop on the stream? If I send you the link, will you hop on the stream for half time? Will you?
Someone to talk to.
Yeah,
fans want you, Griff. Fans want you, Griff.
Griff, he said he wouldn't come on until he's coming on the reaction after. We're doing a reaction show at 10, actually, by the way. If you're tuning in now, we are doing a reaction show at 10. Hope, Brian, you can join us for that, can you? Hope you can.
Yeah, sure. I've nowhere else to go, really.
Lovely stuff. We really appreciate it.
Yes,
get another beer, boys.
Yes, there we go. You have a reaction show to the game. Hopefully it'll be a positive reaction at 10 o'clock. We will be doing that. I'm just going to send this fella the link and get him on.
I have a fact for you that I saw on Twitter before we came on. Ireland haven't lost an opening World Cup qualifying campaign game since 1974, I think, or 1976. So there you go. That's 10 campaigns in a row, I think.
Yeah,
now, that could change in 45 minutes, but it's a good shot.
All right, I was going to send this. My laptop's acting up here. But I'll send this link in.
Get nice on. I agree with that comment.
Yeah, it might be good, interesting one to get on, wouldn't he? But who'd you take off?
Listen, I'm sticking with my guns, even though he scored. Get Brown off the pitch.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
fair.
think just Knight probably offers something a little bit different than Brown offers. Probably a bit more energy as well coming off the bench. So maybe that's something to look for. But in fairness to Alan Brown, as much as I kind of said wouldn't have picked him myself, he did have a pretty good first half. But
sure.
I agree with that comment just coming in there. Same stuff, play well, score and sit back. That was slightly disappointing there when we went 1-0 up and then we kind of dropped off 10 or 15 yards.
It's not even the manager. It's more. Here's this fucking Egypt. It's more of a.
What's the night, lads?
Getting on.
Pretty good. What do you think of that half? I wasn't watching, so don't know your reaction.
You weren't watching the half.
No, I
we
wasn't
watching
watching this. Yeah.
We were overall pretty happy. Like I think overall, like.
Yeah, you can't be too disappointed. In general, but
I was going for a quick slash chat. Be back in 1 second, right?
I'll just chat to Griff then. Griff, how are you?
I couldn't believe it, like slagging off Alan Brown, and the guy just scores like straight away. Like,
I literally said before the game in the starting 11 reaction, I was like, I can't believe they picked Brown over Jason Knight, and then he goes to score. But it was a good goal.
It was Callum Robinson was a brilliant ball in, like such a good ball.
But it was even the pass out, in fairness, from Brown outside of the boot out to the left hand side, and then to make the run into the box is really refreshing to see, like an Irish centre midfielder, or I don't really know, he's kind of playing it like that pass there, just watching on Sky, out to Stevens, and then gives it to Robinson. Great play by Robinson. Lovely, gets onto his left. Like, fair play to Alan Brown. You can't score a goal unless you put yourself in that position to score a goal. And a brilliant knee slide to follow it up.
That's the most essential part, The celebrations half of it.
You can very easily fuck that up and then, end up in a kind of meme. I
thought they played well enough, but they didn't threaten until the goal. Like, I thought that the goal they scored, to be fair, brilliant finish. Like, but I just thought it was disappointing. Like, to be honest, like I thought if we got into half time 1-0, that would have been perfect. Like.
Yeah.
Listen, lads, I hate to interrupt, but while I have you here, I did mean to bring it up. Bows did lose their opening game of the season. What did you think of the Finn Harps Bows game?
Well, I think it's important to say that Bows lost their opening game of the season in the Premier Division.
Brilliant, it's been great having you on. I really appreciate you on tonight. Cut you off here.
You can only lose a Premier Division game if you're in the Premier Division. Which I don't think Shells are this year. I haven't seen them on the fixture list, but I'll have another look.
If you look at LOI TV, you'll see us. It's fine.
Yeah, they weren't good enough on the night. They kind of got dragged down to Finn Harp's level. It was really, really frustrating to see them constantly just pumping balls in high and long against Finn Harp.
Georgie Kelly didn't look great, did he not? He didn't look.
Didn't have a particularly good game, in fairness, but I struggle to really find a single Bows player that did. It was kind of disappointing overall. But yeah, you can't start pumping long balls forward and then expect to get results against Finn Harps. And they were in control, and the only real chance Finn Harps had was that mistake, and it led to a goal, and that is disappointing. But look, it's a long season, so
exactly. One game.
We'll move on.
Tyke, how are you?
Tyke, how are things?
Listen, buzzing here.
What's
thinking the first half?
Yeah, I thought we did well. Like, I mean, they were always gonna have a bit more possession, but some of the pressing sometimes they'd be on the edge of our box and they end up back there on goalkeeper. Like, that kind of stuff was good. But on the ball, I actually thought Brown was poor other than the goal, and Connolly's been very bad on the ball as well. Robinson's done well holding it up, but I'm impressed with Cullen as well, because it's one of those things you never watch him, like, because obviously he's playing in Belgium, but he stepped up to play. He's actually he's playing very well. Yeah. Same with Malumbi as well. Like, he hasn't even been playing that much for Preston, and looks really up for it. Like, he's flying into tackles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I
don't think Connolly's played well. Like, just from what, like, he's just like, even his body language and stuff kind of annoys me at times. Like, showing hands up, but I mean, I don't know. It's just that pace. Like he's just so quick. Hopefully, like it's just break because there's been a good few chances. Like there was like Alan Brown when he put it out into play in the first like 10 minutes, where like it was a good chance. He was in a good position. If you push forward, like Connolly having him on the break, like that's why you need him on the pitch. I think. Like
yeah. No, it was an interesting one. I suppose. Well, if you had offered us 1-1 at half time, we would have taken it. Like, but it's the fact we went 1-0 up. Like, you would have liked to have seen us get in at 1-0 up. But I feel like yes, you can see Serbia's quality kind of coming through a little bit. If I offered you 1-1 right now, would you take it?
Yeah, 100%. You can bite your hand off. Yeah,
you take it for the game. So.
Yeah. But they haven't shown a whole lot, but they've just started growing into the game now, and you'd be worried coming in the second half. Like Tadic, you can see
the bench they have to bring on as well.
Exactly, yeah. Like you definitely see Jovic coming on or something. Just
we were saying during the first half that we think this is the first time Connolly's played through the middle for Ireland. Is he actually better off going onto the left and being able to cut inside and get on the ball more and run at players?
It's tough, like, because I mean, Robinson's actually holding up the ball quite well. I don't know. It's a tough game for him because like you're playing against three big Serbian centre halves. Like, I mean, he's never going to go too well if you like. Yeah. But yeah, it is possibly a bit better. But like some of our most creative players are our wing backs. Like, unfortunately, and kind of it'd be nice to have someone like Dizzy back, something like there up top beside Robinson, like winning headers and stuff like that. But yeah, it's always going to be a tough game for Connolly, I think, against a team like this.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe see a Shane Long coming into the fold. Maybe brought
definitely.
On,
I probably would have started.
I probably would have started. I don't know. I can see why he started Connolly though. So,
very good. They're kind of playing as wide forwards, aren't they? They're not playing like out and outside. They're like wide forwards, and Alan Brown's like pushing on centre halves. Like it's like a Firmino kind of thing.
I imagine the idea was he was going to have Howard doing that because I mean that's kind of the way Howard was playing for Swansea. Like he was coming in. I think it's IU and someone else on the other wing. I'm not sure who it is, but kind of comes in a bit, and he's always like he's playing up front sometimes. Like, but obviously,
I think Connolly won't last.
And got to go.
Connolly won't last anyway.
He'll be definitely taken off.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. No, and it'd be interesting to see who they bring in and what do they switch the system? Would you get Long on for Connolly? You know, like if you bring Long on for Connolly, and then does that? Like, Long's maybe not one of his strong suits. I wouldn't say is getting the ball down and bringing people into play, but we'll be able to be something different for the Serbian centre backs. Maybe taking on let Robinson run in behind. I don't know. Is that Kenny's style?
Yeah. Think about Long. He'll challenge for absolutely everything. Like he'll chase down balls that are kind of maybe 20-80 in the defender's favour, like that. And he's actually quite good in the air, so it could be a good sub. Like we've got Stevens and Doherty there whipping balls in.
Yeah. Honestly, it just felt so good to celebrate a goal for fuck's sake. Like, oh my god, there's absolute limbs in my house. Like it was, I couldn't believe it. Honestly,
we're all here watching different streams. So like I'm watching the TV, Ross is watching everyone's on different times. So I just see like
where Lee was like, and then Ross was like,
I don't know. Yeah. So I was talking about something. I can't remember what I was talking about. I was talking about something. And then Brian goes, I can tell by Liam that there's something going on here. And I saw Alan Brown rising highest. Such
a lovely header.
Great header.
It was surprising great. Like, I was expecting it to be Brady really in there. Like I definitely thought Hendrick was going to start, but like fair play to him. He's made some big decisions and it's paying off so far. Like.
Yeah, for sure. What we were saying beforehand was that he's maybe looking with an eye to Luxembourg in a couple of days' time because Brady wouldn't get 2 starts in probably in that space of time. So what he's looking at maybe is Luxembourg a deeper team, Brady playing in that game, kind of breaking them down. Like if they're playing as in a deeper role, whereas he playing more players that kind of can get around the pitch in this one. Like the Rumby, Colin Brown, like more kind of hard working, but like more kind of able to get around a bit more athletic players kind of thing. So
you forget like this is their game. Like they played the Nations League, whatever. Like they didn't qualify against Scotland and stuff like that, and then they've got a new manager who's come in and stuff like that. I mean, if you put a lot of pressure on these players, like they are like the buckle. Like I've seen them, like some of the results. They're real. Like they win one game 5-0, whatever, and then they lose the next one. Like I mean, they're a mixed bag like for them. So definitely, if you put them under pressure early, they kind of seem to struggle. But those players on the bench they have like are so dangerous. And I always felt like we're going to need a second after scoring that early. Like
Yeah, for sure. Someone's saying here, some people are saying their goal was quality, was a flicked on header, and a goal where I think the goalkeeper should have covered his angles better.
Yeah, I think Travers could have done better, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a good finish, though. He took it.
Great finish.
He did take it well, yeah. Because if he had it, I think he thought he was going to go on the near post or something like that, and he just kind of poked it past him. And he couldn't shift quick enough. Like it was a little bit of luck and a little bit of shade. Like maybe he should have stepped up, or maybe he should have followed his man. Like
I think Clark missed out on the header, was it though? I think it was Clark missed out on the header.
Missed the original header, yeah, but then it was a shade running back, I think, wasn't it?
Like I think a Duffy sub at some stage might be the worst shout. If last 20 if under pressure or something like that. It might be the worst shout. Even a Darrow Shea, still a little bit young, bit naive kind of thing. Maybe an O'Shea or not, maybe a Duffy, substitute might be the worst shout. Yeah. But you'd like to think second half will kind of kick off, like start where we left off.
I'm gonna head off now, lads. Speaking second half, starting now. I'll see you after the
end for reaction.
Yes,
with the glass of champagne. Happy days.
Yeah, lovely.
See you later, lads. Good luck.
Lovely stuff. Go on, talk to us a bit. Duffy comes on if we need a goal for sure. That's the thing with Duffy as well. He does offer you that threat in the final third of the pitch as well as kind of defensively as well. That aerial threat. Predictions for second half, lads. What do you think, Liam? Because he went with a 1-0 Ireland win.
1-0 win. I'm going to say I can see 1-1 now. I can see 1-1 now. Just take the point in Serbia.
Brain, what do you think? Who's back?
If the game continues in the same manner that the last kind of 10-15 minutes of that half, the first half, we'll struggle. I think we need to step back up. Obviously, we dropped too deep after we scored, so we need to press them higher again, as we did in the first kind of 30 minutes or so. So yeah, it'll be interesting now. The next 10 minutes will really set the tone for this half, and we have to be more energetic and press them higher and get on the ball a bit more. We were doing that quite well for the first 15-20 minutes. We scored, and then it kind of dropped off. So definitely need to
Hello. Sorry. Yeah. Cut off there.
Sorry, man. No, there's feedback there in my ear. So hold on. You can hear yourself talking, and then you can hear yourself.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
And I was like, "What's going on?" Have they made a sub? Have they? Kostic on. Yeah, Kostic has come on.
He's a good player, actually.
I think you spoke about that at halftime. The worry is that their bench is quite strong.
So strong, yeah. So strong.
Mladenovic come off. Have they changed shape then?
Or
is he playing on the left?
Is
he playing left back? Or is he playing left wing?
Left wing back, I think that is.
It's hard to tell from the kickoff because they just kind of all ran forward.
So I'll strike a pose for the Instagram story. That's just going to take a quick one. Here we go. Lovely stuff.
I think in reality, we're saying, would we take a draw at half time? Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%. It's a great result. I think if you offered Portugal a draw in Serbia, they'd probably take it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
they're actually 1-0 up.
Are they? Against
Azerbaijan?
Azerbaijan. They're at home. I think it was Neves that scored the goal. But they should win comfortably, really.
Yeah.
Like people saying that they play better without Ronaldo in their team. It's an interesting one. They actually, like, as a unit, they play better, which wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, they're probably a more balanced team. It was a bit like Sweden. I know Zlatan's back now for Sweden, but there was a good few years there where you thought, actually, this Sweden team is better without Zlatan because it's not all the ball has to go through Zlatan. I don't think that's entirely the case with Portugal and Ronaldo, but there is an argument probably to be made there that they're a more balanced side without Ronaldo in it.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is probably definitely Ronaldo's last campaign. Like, I mean, he's 35, 36 now. Like,
yeah, you'd think,
I
this is last World Cup, but like,
yeah. But as we were saying, the game is played. Or the campaign is really down to, in terms of the playoff position. If we're being realistic, it's down to 2 games, and it's this one and Serbia at home. And then if you can nick a couple of points, maybe off Portugal home and away, that's a bonus. So a win or a draw here isn't a terrible result if you go and back it up with a win in Dublin against Serbia. We know that's not a simple task, but that's. I remember coming out of the Switzerland game a couple of years ago at home where we drew 1-1, and we got a late goal from a goal. Different people around me saying, "Oh, that was a great result." I
remember you talking about me about this before. Yeah,
it's like, that's not a good result. That's like,
we need to win.
We have to be winning these home games. You can't go, "Oh yeah, good result there because we got a late goal, got the moral victory, showed a lot of balls to get back into it." Then we have to go to Switzerland and win, and we know that wasn't the case. So it's all well and good saying yes, a draw is a good result, but you then have to go and back it up with a win in the corresponding home fixture.
Yeah. Dave Shevlin in the comments.
That's comment number 3 or 4. That's fair. That's fair. I actually tied it up. I assume something's happened.
For fuck's sake.
Big chance.
Big chance. I'd better come up on my screen. Oh, that is a big chance.
I forgot we weren't all on the same.
Yeah. No, just react as you would.
Yeah, it's actually good.
Better off that way.
What do you think there? That's what I was kind of saying at a half time, that someone saying maybe we won't get another chance to score. Football is a random a game of random moments, but you do have to be clinical in those
chances,
moments.
Yeah.
That's something you could definitely say we haven't been previously. Like,
Shane Long takes that chance.
Definitely not. Like, it's so far from clinical, that fella.
I would get Long on, though, in fairness, in the second half at some point.
I would too, I think.
Run the channels, kind of.
Yeah.
I know it's a bit of a kind of throwback and maybe something we're trying to get away from a little bit.
Looking for results. In international football, you're looking for results.
Yeah. Yes, we want to play better football, and yes, we want to score beautiful goals, but there does need to be some pragmatism as well.
Yeah, for sure. Chance for Serbia, yeah. Oh, it's a great ball through. Offside, is he? Yeah, offside. He scored as well. Great ball from Tadic. He just shows, it's just constant reminders of his ability.
I like when the camera just before that cut to the random interview place. And that,
yeah.
Did you see that?
Come on, Conley. Come on. Penalty. Has to be a penalty.
Is it?
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake.
That's a stone. Is there VAR? Is there VAR? No.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Conley was in.
A complete dive. What? It's a penalty. It has to be.
It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like. Is that
that was a lovely finish. Just to go back.
It was a good finish. It
was actually, they've shown it again here. That was a lovely finish. Nice step up with Clark.
It's a good challenge.
Yeah, you feel it's on line edge a bit, don't you? You feel it's like there is a chance here for us. Like, there will be a chance here for us to snatch this.
It's kind of like a bit of ping pong.
This is a penalty. Yeah, it's a good tackle. I think it was a good tackle. It wasn't a dive, I don't think, per se, but it was a good challenge. Got the ball.
It's back and
forth. Was it handball in the build-up for that?
Was it? Yeah.
I'm just there. I don't know.
Maybe there, not. Yeah.
Just outside the box. Anyway, so
it's a much out in the second half, anyway.
Yeah. I don't know if that suits us or not, though. Alan around the corner. Poor ball in. Nothing happened to Liam, is there?
Here now.
No, I just want to say if you're enjoying the stream, really do appreciate it. If you could hit 70 likes on the stream, I think we're a good bit off for the moment, but if you can hit 70 likes on the stream, it will be greatly, greatly appreciated. And do subscribe if you haven't already. Much appreciated on the road to 3K. And it is greatly appreciated now. So I do appreciate all the support you can give us. And we will be back as well, actually, with a reaction to the game at 10 o'clock to 10:30. We'll be taking all your questions. Everything you want to throw at us from that point on, we'll be answering all your questions. So I might be able to get a few others. I think Mark O'Riordan's joining us. I think it might be a few. It might get funny. It might get funny at that stage. So, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. If the result's positive, of course.
Yeah. They didn't show many replays of that tackle there. Was it?
I think they shot the one, and it looked like he got the ball. I think so. It must be.
I think he just got the ball. Yeah.
Okay.
Darrow O'Shea looks good on the ball. Brian, you might see it now in a second, but Darrow O'Shea there, just like even just that pass, but you can see he's kind of confident, comfortable on the ball. We know he kind of missed out on that header. He's lumping it along now, actually, but good ball out to Doherty.
You've probably seen a minute. We have a good bit of play there.
Yeah, but that, like, I'm watching it now. I mean, that is such a positive that we are not afraid to. I mean, like I will say, like there was under previous regimes, say Martin O'Neill. At times, I remember playing Austria at home, and I remember playing Austria at home, and we were passing the ball around really, really nicely. Coming to Whelan was going back, dropping off, getting the ball at the feet, playing it off to a centre half, and then they just lose patience and hit it 40 yards.
Yeah, big ball back. Ooh. No, it's in terms of our play, it's so positive, like.
But it's more patient.
Exactly.
They're not just saying, right, we're going to force this.
How goal is it?
It's just simple triangles, though. Like if you think about it.
Yeah.
Tadic is like their Wes Hoolahan. I just miss him.
Oh, Jesus, what's going on here? Doherty get rid. So we're saying Doherty are number 7. This doesn't look right, does it?
He hasn't had a bad game, I don't think, compared to what he's had in the Spurs shirt.
No, yeah.
Like that space Tadic has. So sorry, I'm just watching that. Like you just watch him here. Like he's always in space. He's always standing over his shoulder to see where he is. He's always just in between, in that little hole between the centre halves and the midfield. Like he is exactly.
He's that level above everyone else on the pitch a little bit.
Yeah,
like that. Like kind of.
He's exactly the kind of player we just don't have.
Yeah, for sure. Because like we do have players that like hard work, like Josh Cullen, and but they do some Tadic, like Champions League semi-finalists and Ajax. I think semi-final, wasn't it? One of their key players as well. Like he is that kind of not in the elite bracket, but maybe the next tier down, possibly, or something like that. Best player on the pitch, you'd say, like.
Starting to get a little bit nervous now, just kind of.
Yeah, but you want to see us like this. Like, you feel like there is possibly chances for us here, but the first game of the campaign, like, we don't need to. It's a hard one to kind of try and manage because it's one of those where you don't need to go all out because the point here is a good result for us. Like,
yeah, you also like it is obviously there's no fans in the stadium.
Oh,
there is fans, no fans in the stadium, and that's a plus. But for us, because it's an intimidating atmosphere. But you're also wondering playing them maybe later in the campaign, maybe even on Saturday or next Wednesday would have been probably a bit more ideal. But end of the day, it's not.
Do you think if we went into the Luxembourg game first, it would have been better for us to try and build confidence by beating them, or do you feel like we've been so poor before that this game is a good springboard? If we get a point here, it gives us that confidence going into the Luxembourg game.
Yeah, in an ideal world, you'd play that game and you'd have a really good result and a really good performance, and you say, right, we're better. But if the performance isn't that fantastic and they get over the line with the result, probably heaps a bit more pressure on them. Because you say, well, it was a bit like Gibraltar in the last game. And you say, well, we won the game, but we didn't play well. and it just kind of made everyone a bit more kind of like, this is going to be a difficult enough campaign. So it can go either way, really.
I kind of think that you should be kind of going into a campaign. I kind of think you should be going into a campaign where you don't expect to kind of just roll someone over. Like, there is going to be upsets, and it should be at it from the go, really. Like, you know what I mean? Because there's going to be games where you're going to lose points that you don't expect to lose, and you might nick one against like a Portugal or something like that. So,
what's going to be? Yeah, what could be, because I remember we were talking about earlier, and I did agree with you at the time about the two games of Serbia being the two crucial ones. But I could see like a Serbia like beating that, like it wouldn't be ridiculous to see that happen, like a Serbia beat Portugal. Like,
no, absolutely not. If they beat them on Saturday, I wouldn't be entirely shocked, but it wouldn't be a particularly good result for us.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely. We want ideally Portugal beat Serbia twice. That's the idea.
Yeah, like, you kind of want that. Even 2 draws, and then we can make a win against Portugal and a win maybe here or touch water against Serbia in Dublin. Like, it's one of those things. But yeah, like if Serbia get a result against Portugal on Saturday, it completely opens up the group entirely. But then we have to go to Azerbaijan, which isn't, okay, yes, we should be winning the game, but it's a long way to go.
Horrible, it's a horrible trip, Baku,
So I'd be interested. I'm kind of obviously, want to see how this game goes and want us to get a good result here. But I am also interested to see how we play on Saturday, because I think that's going to be a marker of Ireland.
If we've taken a step forward,
because I can't really remember the last time we played a so-called minnow and really played really well and said, well, you can only play what's in front of you. People will always say, sure, it was only Luxembourg, it was only Gibraltar, it was only San Marino, but you can only play what's in front of you.
The goals might count as well. The goals could matter. Actually, as well. You wouldn't mind knocking.
He was offside there.
Yeah, he's offside. Yeah, some great passages of play. Need to make one of these count. Killian said that was a few minutes ago. We're looking like we can win this, says Evan Nolan. Irish Footy Vlog says good move there. Had 5 in the box too, which is that's so commonly you see Ireland and they've 2.
Here comes trouble. Here comes trouble. Just Jeff Hendrick coming on. It's okay, yeah.
Okay. Just on that last bit there where they caught them offside, they showed the replay from the side on. O'Shea is in the middle, and he's so clever. He's so clever. He sees that, okay, your man's taking a step past Stevens. I'm going to step up in the line. Steps up at the exact right moment. Yeah. The ball plays in. He's offside. Really, really little clever things like that kind of show the football intelligence that O'Shea possesses, which is great to see.
Yeah. Malumbi coming off and Hendrick replacing him. Thoughts on the substitution?
That's an interesting one.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Now, Malumbi has been struggling for game time a little bit.
Yeah.
And asking to play 90 minutes in this environment isn't
tough. Yeah.
Perfect. But now, doesn't look particularly happy, but does he look like he's struggling with an injury? Or
it looked a little bit like that, didn't it? A little bit, which is interesting. Hendrick on.
Looks like he's got blood in his mouth. I like if Hendrick comes on and let's say Knight comes on in a little bit for let's be honest, Hendrick isn't a terrible footballer. He isn't.
No, he's playing the Premier League. Like, surely he's all right. Like,
yeah, the big issue with Jeff Hendrick for me is that games pass him by too often for Ireland. Yeah. He's never dreadful, but he never really contributes to the game massively. And you'd say, well, Hendrick was a forward there, you know. And
I think he has a point to prove coming off the bench.
Yeah,
maybe.
You kind of say, go and be the player that you showed for about 35 minutes against Sweden in Stade de France in 2016.
Yeah.
No
goal.
No. It's just
Hendrick for the winners is Irish Footy Vlogs.
I actually couldn't call this at the moment. I just think it could go either way.
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
Knowing our luck, it'd probably go the other way.
So Mitrovic coming on. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic.
Mitrovic coming on. I'm surprised it's not Luka Jovic, to be honest.
Yeah. I still don't like. I was looking into Luka Jovic. He's went back to
3
Frankfurt.
goals,
Yeah,
13 or something, isn't it? Yeah.
3 and 11 or something, and he has obviously scored more since he went back. But he has like 37 appearances for Real or something like that, and only 2 goals.
Yeah. But like, if he's playing for like he is, you can like
there is a player in there, so it's about getting him out. Really,
yeah. It's interesting to see because I remember there was something about him being like him and his missus are like the posh and becks of Serbia, like, and they're not liked at all. Like,
come on, Robinson, have a strike.
We're real positive playing from the back and stuff, there, aren't we? Like, we're really positive. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's always nice to see people trying to play from the back. There has to be a mix there. I think, you know, you look back at, say, Arsenal for a while under Unai Emery and even for parts under Arteta, where they're like, no, we're going to play from the back no matter what, and it just ends up costing loads of goals. At
international level, especially, you have to adapt. Like, because it's a results-driven business more than club level, nearly. Like,
yeah, you only get, you know, X amount of games, like probably 10 games, really, or
3-4 games to show. Less time to work with the players as well.
But I can't say we've been overplaying it in our own third. I wouldn't say that, but it's just, you know, maybe something to be wary of. Yeah. So I think we've actually played. Like, we haven't played terribly in this game. We haven't played fantastically, but, you know, I've been quietly impressed with how he's done a better business. It's probably the most solid Irish performance for a while, especially away from home.
Yeah, definitely.
So far, still 25 or something to go.
It's not like the old games where you just go away and just park the bus and kind of hope for a little set piece. So we're actually playing decent football for once.
Yeah.
That Hendrick's ball in there a minute ago, like, it was a good little. It was a good idea, and he got into space and he made the space well for himself with a few runs off him. But like, the execution is probably just not what you want it to be from a player of his level, you know.
Yeah.
Like, as you were saying, Ross, regardless of what you think of him, he's been playing consistently in the Premier League for 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah.
You know, has to stand for something.
Yeah, surely it does. Like, Irish Footy Vlogs, regardless, is better than the last few regimes. Yeah,
that's true.
In terms of to watch, like, it's a lot better of a watch. Good luck, boys from Serbia. Appreciate that, Nicola.
Like, I remember going to Switzerland in Ireland's last away game that fans could go to, and, you know, it was a horrible day in Geneva. Rained all day. The worst city. There was nothing to do. No good pubs. We're all just drinking cans outside this thing. It was really expensive. It's just terrible. The match kind of got kicked off. It was awful. Lost 2-0. I remember about 25 minutes, 30 minutes into the game, we were 1-0 down, and someone said behind us, just went, is James Collins playing on the left-hand side? And I was like, surely not. And looked over, and lo and behold, James Collins is playing on the left-hand side. And you're like, what? Like,
shocking.
I think that was the moment where I literally was like, why am I here? I could be at home in Dublin.
Travelled all the way over,
Got up at 4 a.m, flew to Manchester, then flew to Geneva, spent the whole day in the rain. The game really got called off, and I'm watching James Collins play on the left wing for Ireland.
Remember that pitches and bits, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a joke. And then the thing was, yes, it had rained. It hadn't rained that much at all.
I still remember being called off.
Yeah, someone said at the time.
Was it postponed for an hour or something?
No, they were literally going to call the game off till the next day. But I remember sitting there or standing in the rain, and someone said they're thinking of calling the game off. And you're like, this is a light drizzle. Like, it's not. It's been consistent, but it's not like it's been like
crazy,
floods or anything like.
Shane Long's just after coming on. I don't know if you're up to speed there, but
for Connolly
off. Yeah, Connolly wasn't doing much, to be honest.
But again, Connolly was never going to last. I'm surprised he lasted this long, in fairness.
Yeah. Gary says Liam Odegaard came off injured. for Norway.
No. I don't want to hear that, Gary. I don't want to hear that. No, he's been our shining light in a poor season, and he's probably going to go back to Madrid and never come back.
I don't think he will come back because they're looking for like 140 million or something. They're looking for like 100 million plus. Like I heard that somewhere. They're looking for that much.
No way.
Like, yeah,
the best thing for
100%.
The best thing could be.
He has to. Sorry, far away.
The best thing for Arsenal could be Zidane wins the Champions League, stays, and then it's like, I don't want Odegaard. Oh my God, what the? I hate this. Hate this nation. Fuck this. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be swearing on this.
Oh no, it's not, is it? Oh, Travers, man.
Oh, fuck! Remember I said in the preview that if Travers makes a mistake, he makes a mistake. Well,
Mitrovic.
Travers out blood.
Fuck.
Mitrovic hasn't scored in so long as well. Like, oh my God!
Fuck's sake.
That's so. What is he doing? That's in fairness, what a finish!
Yeah, great finish.
He has to save that, man. He has to save that.
Why is he so far off his lines? What I want to know. His positioning needs to be better there.
His decision making needs to be better. Like, he's decided to go, and then he just stopped. Like, he makes decision, right, I'm going out there, which is a terrible decision, and then stops, and then he's just in no man's land. Like, that's awful.
For sake. That is piss poor from Travers now, to be honest.
Like, it's a great execution of a finish for Mitch.
Great finish.
Take nothing away from that.
You don't get
He's
away
made
with
it.
it. Like,
He's made it easy for him.
Level. Yeah,
he's made it so easy for him. And you can see the other players.
Yeah, Brown and stuff. Yeah,
I just, you work really, really, really hard for 70 minutes away from home, and then you're let down by a goalkeeper's decision making. Absolutely, I understand that, and I said these things happen, mistakes happen, and I appreciate that it's Travers' first game for Ireland. But at this level, you just don't get away with stuff like that, especially when you've got a player at the quality of Mitrovic who's just going to ping one over you from 40 yards or whatever it was.
You have to bear in mind, like, he's played one championship game this season. He's played 8 League One games. Like, it's not much football. And then he's going from 8 League One games to playing against Premier League strikers, like, or Premier League equivalent strikers. Like, it's a different ballpark. And you don't want to raise the question of is Bazunu better, like, because you don't want to like, Bazunu could have easily made a similar mistake, but it does, like, we have had Randolph out, we've had Kelleher out, we've had Westwood potentially could have started this game, and all things considered for the experience. So
it's easy to sit here and say that or Randolph or Kelleher wouldn't make that mistake, but I don't really actually see them making that mistake. But that probably just comes from, yes, Travers is, I think, slightly older than Kelleher, but Kelleher's experience of playing in the Champions League and playing in the Premier League and playing week in, week out, every day in training with the likes of Alisson.
Quality players.
One of the top teams in the world.
It's the coaching, and so it's coaching, like, isn't it? You're getting, like, it's world class coaching, like, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just that is the difference between top class and the class below. That we are playing, that yes, you're playing at a good level, but when it really counts and matters, that's where the top level mentality shows. No, I will say, listen,
for sure.
we're 2-1 down here. We were 2-1 down here in 2016 in the first game of a World Cup qualifying campaign and got a late equalizer. So it isn't unthinkable that we'll get a goal here, but we haven't really looked that threatening in the second half going forward.
No, we haven't really, as much as the first. We haven't. But it's if we were to lose this, you'd feel like we'd need to get something in one of the Portugal games, which wouldn't be ideal. I mean, have to beat Serbia at home, which isn't easy at all either.
There's no chance we're getting anything against Portugal. Like they brought Bruno Fernandes on and 46 a minute. Like that's how much quality they have.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think to be realistic about it, like yes, they're much better than us on paper. But any group of 11 players can beat any other group of 11 players on their day. It's just we don't look like, as I said, we don't look like we're going to be clinical enough. We don't look like we're going to create enough opportunities to be clinical. And that's we're missing that kind of Tadic style player.
Showing replays of the Travers one there, he could have even tipped it out. Like, it looks like he didn't even stretch his arm out to tip it over or something. It's just real.
His positioning was good. As soon as he went out and made that initial run. Yeah. As soon as he made that initial run, and he kind of was like, oh shit, he just lost his bearings completely. He was like, I don't know where I am in relation to my goal.
Yeah. Fuck's sake. Really annoying to see that, isn't it?
I know you'll probably know this, Ross, but he's kind of always been a bit rash in his decision making. Travers, even from schoolboy, like even like Lucan against Kevin's, against stuff like that, he's always kind of had that kind of just the decision making just a tiny bit off.
Yeah. Chance for Ireland here, and Stevens clipping it back in, and it's out. Yeah,
because what springs to my mind with Travers is, I remember he did something similar enough in his semi-final of what was it? What is that competition? It's gone out of my mind now. All Ireland semi-final. Came out of his box and handballed it.
Yeah. I think Bazunu. I'm not. Listen, I don't want to be fucking on here saying he's a shit goalkeeper. Right? Like, I don't want to criticize too much, but I do think that Bazunu's ceiling is higher than Travers's. With Shamrock Rovers, we saw that Bazunu was unbelievably came in against likes of course. He played in Europe for them as well. I think Stephen Bradley came out in the week and said that he'd have no problem stepping into this scenario and being the number one. And I think a lot of people were calling for Bazunu to be number one in terms of, even for goalkeepers, it is about time played this season. And Travers has only played 9 games overall. Bazunu's played 27, 28 games for Rochdale this season. Being there, played a month last week.
Oh, fuck off.
3-1, is it?
This guy's barely scored all season, like, he gets fucking 2.
Oh, that's poor. That has come from a position where we're totally in control of the ball. It's kind of what I was talking about earlier, that when we say we were patient on the ball and we weren't forcing it. Like, I think it was Clark that gave the ball away there initially, just kicked it forward. Like, we're in control of the ball. There's no need to do that.
Yeah. That's fucking gutting. That is gutting. Second half we haven't even good enough. But that's really just weak. Different level. That's weak in the air. But we've missed out on a Duffy type in there. To be honest with you, Duffy went that like. I think for the first goal, the aerial presence. I think Duffy
struggled against Mitrovic there. It is good forward play for Mitrovic.
Brilliant. Yeah, but I'm saying again, second time we've seen like a centre half be bullied by the forward, like.
True, but listen,
first goal and third goal.
It goes back to the initial thing of you cannot give Tadic that much space. We've been saying it all night. You can't give Tadic that much space in the edge of the box. Like, there's no way. Like, what is? I'm going to get annoyed now. Listen, I'm not saying Malumbi was having a world-beating game. What the fuck is Jeff Hendrick at there?
Yeah, no.
If you watch it through the replay, Hendrick is about 10 meters away from Tadic, like running parallel to him. Like, go to the ball.
Yeah.
Like, it's simple. That's just, you cannot.
Jason Knight comes on and does the same work Malumbi was doing. Jeff Hendrick doesn't. It's as simple as that. Jeff Hendrick coming on. I'd nearly not put Jeff Hendrick in the squad. He's just like, he offers absolutely nothing. Like,
he's been strolling around.
He offers nothing. He's just
10 minutes.
offers a bad all he does is offers a bad attitude, like literally. The ref fist bump and Tadic, like fuck's sake.
He just doesn't look like he cares. Like he's just like, oh well, I'll just get through this, a little bit. Yeah. It's going to have to be between now. So say we go on and lose this game, between now and us, and now in September, we're going to have to somehow find a way of playing at this level, and beating teams like this. And with the current crop of players, I just don't see where that comes from.
No. I think John Egan is a huge miss at the back.
Big miss, yeah. No, I agree.
His aerial presence is like you can even see with O'Shea a little bit. That aerial presence isn't quite there. Maybe Allardyce is leaving him out for that reason. At West Brom sometimes. And Egan does offer that. O'Shea is potential. Like he's still so young. Like it's just one of those things. But I think Egan is like ready made. Like he's a Premier League centre half. Like he's even Sheffield United doing bad this season. He's probably their best player. Like he's a Premier League centre half. He's a big loss. Even the likes of a Horahan and McCarthy, they get you through moments in games. Maybe like a difficult 5-10 minute period, they might get you through it.
Brady, Collins, and McLean are coming on now.
Three of them.
Yeah.
It's a huge share. I suppose he has to do something, I suppose, yeah.
That's a good point there. A good question from Anthony Abbott. Are we expecting too much from this group of players?
I think
possibly.
I think so. They're all championship standard players, and you're coming up against someone who plays with the likes of Ajax, all in this Serie A, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think in context that's a good point. But I think the championship now is a very strong league. But are we expecting too much? Yes and no. I think just my issue is some of the basics aren't being done at times, like closing a player down who's 10 yards away from me. Are we expecting them to go and get results? Probably a little bit. We're being a bit like, every time an Ireland squad is announced for the last few years, it's been like, oh, this could be all right, until about an hour before the game when the team is announced and people go, oh fuck, like is this actually what our team is? And then as the game goes on, you kind of go, this isn't going so badly, and then like we might nick a goal and you go, we're gonna win the fucking World Cup, and then we end up 40 minutes later sitting in this position. So to answer your question, Anthony, I think it's it's not entirely black and white, but for me it's a yes in some regards and a no in other regards.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, what you think, but that'd be my 2 cents.
I think we're probably not. I don't think we're expecting too much. I think we just it's just you're always going to be optimistic going into a international group games. I mean, it's not like we have a terrible group of players. We have it is a mostly championship players with a blend of a few Premier League players within it. So yeah, I think it's a work in progress with Kenny. I think it is going to take a while for him to get going with it. I think this World Cup qualifying campaign, if you're being realistic, we probably aren't going to qualify. In the top two, it is a tough enough group. Like Portugal and Serbia are both good sides, but it's just one of those things where will Kenny be given the time to really like get the team playing the way he wants it to, and that's a good it's a good kind of, I don't know, like are people going to get impatient with it if we don't qualify for World Cup and stuff like? And I think he does deserve the time to put it right. Maybe look. I think it's if you wanted a short-term person to get it going, it is a Mick McCarthy, it's a Martin O'Neill to kind of grind out a draw against Serbia. Whereas we've played with this kind of open formation and trying to play out from the back, and depends what like people give out about Ireland playing shit football when they get results, and then they give out about it when we're not getting results, trying to play the right way. So I think it's double-edged sword.
That point you made there about people saying like, oh, do we have to have patience, or people will lose patience, with Stephen Kenny? To be completely blunt with you, I think you just have to say, well, fuck off. Like, the thing is, we don't have an alternative. We've tried everything. Well, it feels like we've tried everything and we've tried nothing. So this is the time where we say, no, we're actually going to implement a long-term strategy thinking, starting from the senior team manager, going down all the way to the under 15s. They're all on the same wavelength, and we're trying, and it's been a long process, and it goes back to, maybe 2010 and 2012 when they introduced the kind of player path and changed the way they were playing. And it is showing results. We're playing better football. But if you're here just say, no, let's go back to the ways of, say,
people here saying Kenny out and stuff, like just give it a rest.
It's not for me. Like, it's just not for me, because you have to see success down the road. There is going to be bumps in that road, and there's going to be there's going to be moments like this where you're saying, we're fucking losing again. We're losing again for the long-term good. And that's what has to happen here. And it's been throughout Irish football. It just hasn't. There's never been this long-term thinking. And the long-term thinking has to be, we are here for it. I'll give you an example. The Japanese in the mid-90s introduced a 100-year plan. And they got the likes of Arsene Wenger over there managing, and a few other people. I think actually the Serbian manager was over there for a while.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And their thinking is that in the next 100 years, they want to win the World Cup. That was about 20 years ago. So they still have 80 years to go. Now, you may think that's a bit over the top and gone completely the other way. But we need to have something, right? We're on a 15-year plan here. It's not about 2022. It's about 2026, 2030, 2034. And then we're building, and you build on something and it becomes cyclical. That's what we have to do. So we have to have patience with Kenny. You have to have patience with Jim Crawford. You have to let these guys do it. And maybe Kenny isn't going to be the man to bring us to a tournament, but he's laid out a foundation of the culture that we want to implement. And then we can bring in, maybe in a few years' time, a coach who is of that level that can bring us to that next step. But we need thinking like this. It can't just be, well, we'll bring in a coach for a couple of years, like a Trapattoni who's just here for a paycheck, and we'll get us to the World Cup.
Yeah, it's like a Jose Mourinho type of appointment. Like, it's like, get success now and then don't care about the future, that kind of thing. Yeah,
there's no planning.
Yeah, no, I
was a rant.
It's about, and I feel like the way the senior team plays reflects down towards the schoolboy level, and it really does affect it. And if 15-year-olds are seen, like they will, like, I think there is that thing about it where it's about, for 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds, about winning now, like winning the All-Ireland, winning their league. Whereas it's about, like, Holland and stuff like that, I think they played, like, they don't have league tables, they play to enjoy the game, and they play without pressure. And it is something to be, I think there's something to be said for both of them, but I do think that we're obviously going down the wrong road, and when we're like getting 12, 13, 14-year-olds to like lump it long and not play football the right way. And it does resonate down towards the schoolboy levels as well.
Come on, yes.
All right,
is it?
Okay,
come on, next five.
Next five.
How long's left? 10 minutes. 5 minutes. Let's go. Everything's rosy. Kenny in.
Who scored that? James Collins.
Oh no!
What a man! James Collins.
The two players.
Yeah.
I was like, abruptly going, "What?"
4 from Serbia.
Yeah, it was 4 from Serbia. In fairness, they gifted us. It was a gift.
Oh wow, that's really bad.
But no matter what the result is tonight, our points still stand in terms of giving Kenny time. Like that's like, if we lose 10-2 or if we win 4-3, like the point stands no matter what the result is. It's a long-term thinking. It's not today, like, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that is, we have to have patience with these things. And like, you were talking about schoolboy football. I remember last year, or 2019, I think, one of the coaches of Malahide was doing his B license or his A license, and he asked me to come up and film a game of his team. They were like, I don't know, 13, 14-year-olds. And it's started complaining about Shane. Shane Long is shit. He's never going to score another goal for Ireland. He's scoring now, isn't it? So
come on, Shane.
I went to I went to film this game for him and just like at a high angle looking down at the pitch, and I was just giving him the video so he could analyze it and for his whatever. And they were playing Cabinteely, and again, 13, 14-year-olds. And Cabinteely went 2-0 up, really 2 good goals. And then in the second half, Malahide got a goal back, and it was 2-1. You can feel the pressure on it. And I was so impressed, with the 5 minutes after Cabinteely scored. And you boys have both played for one of my teams, and I always say, and it goes back to an old coach I had, that you're most vulnerable to conceding a goal after a goal has gone in, whether it's for or against you.
5 plus 5, like kind of thing.
What the next 5, and for the next 5 minutes after that game, after that Malahide got a goal, Cabinteely just passed the ball around. Like, that was their only aim. I don't think they gave away the ball once. For honestly 5 minutes, they just passed it and just made Malahide run. And I was like, this is unbelievable. Like, actually unbelievable.
I think we might nick a draw here, lads.
Do you know what? Fuck it. Why not? But yeah, like this, it's about evolution, not revolution. And yes, we're slowly building into a nation that can play decent football and something that we're proud of. But it's going to take time. And do you know what? Like, I'm okay with that. If the general public aren't, fine. Like, that's fine. They'll come back around eventually. They're a fickle bunch.
Yeah, because it is one of those things where, like, it's like the League of Ireland fans will give Kenny time. I don't think no problem, they give him time. And then, like, it's like the people that don't watch League of Ireland, and it's like kind of the Liverpool fans, the Man United fans don't give a fuck. Like, it just like want success now. They're the ones that are the issue, like, with it, like the masses nearly, like, whereas it's what it's hard.
There's such a finality in football at the moment, and it kind of comes from social media. Is that, you know, if say, and it's kind of like Liverpool. If Liverpool are Man United, if they don't win one week, they're the worst team in the world. They're the worst. It's hilarious, and they're meme pages all over it. And then if they, you know, go and win the next game, it's like, well, they're pretty good. You know, it's because everyone wants this sort of
fans. It's all reactive, like
everything's reactive, and everything has to have actual, like, bigger meaning to it. Whereas it's just a game of football. And it's part of a long-term picture. You don't look back on like the Charlton era and say, you know, okay, well, maybe the Charlton era is not a good example, but like there was much more to the Charlton era than just
Ireland.
The penalty shootout against Romania. You know, he did change a culture of a side that had never qualified before over time, and he got players out. You know, he didn't play Ireland's probably best technical player ever, Brady. And that was like unbelievable at the time. You know, this isn't going to happen overnight. And if we go on to lose this game, that's not the end of Irish football. It's not the end of Stephen Kenny. It's just
it's not even the end of this campaign. It's not the end of this campaign.
Exactly.
It's not even the end of the campaign. Yeah, exactly. Like
just 4 minutes of additional time here. So
I want to run for a slash, but I don't know if I want it. Like,
no, don't actually do, because if you leave, we're more likely to score. Based on
20 seconds, 20 seconds.
Based on my absolutely non-scientific.
I really hope he comes back and it's a draw.
Don't say anything. We won't say anything. Oh, come on. Oh, jeez. It's going to be an interesting one to analyze, actually, at the end of this. Say, what do we do right, and what? Because it's a better performance for the most part, I think.
Absolutely, yeah.
In big moments, we've kind of let ourselves down. You know, and it's the inexperience in part of, say, Travers and stuff. It's kind of just
if we have Randolph, I don't think this game we've conceded 3 really. You know what I mean?
No. I think if we're being hyper sensitive about Travers, I think the first goal maybe could do better, but it is a good finish. It's taken early. And then the second goal obviously is just such a
it's kind of like it's really frustrating from the part, like, Kenny's went bold tonight and left the likes of Duffy, stuff like that out of the team, and it's kind of the fans are kind of be like, I can already see on Twitter, this wouldn't have happened if Duffy was playing, and you know what I mean.
Joe, I was just listening. I had the AirPods in, so I could still hear what you were saying, lads. And I was just gonna say on the Randolph thing as well, because even from like it's such a smaller level of it, but from like a Leinster Senior League point of view, having like an experienced goalkeeper behind you to shouting at you makes such a difference to the back line compared to maybe a Travers who might not be as I'm not sure how to say it, but like as like kind of efficient with his words maybe. It makes such a difference having that experience behind you, the confidence of a Randolph, or even Kelleher might be like that at this stage as well. So yeah,
well, the one thing I will say about Queven Keller is, as I said, at times I've watched him and kind of gone, oh, I don't know if he's like a great goalkeeper, but he's a good footballer. But
yeah, for sure.
That's the thing is, I always kind of think every time I've watched him, I've gone, he's so calm and in control of like what he's doing. I've never gone, oh, this looks like somebody's going to make a rash decision. It just seems like
even on the ball actually for Liverpool, he like clipping out to the fullbacks and stuff.
Yeah,
like he looks
he's
really
no
confident.
issue
Like
doing that. I think this game is
one last corner. Come on, lads!
Oh, fuck's sake!
Imagine we nicked a draw.
Just commentate on it, Liam. Commentate on it. Tell us what's going on.
Brady's about to whip a corner in standard. It'll probably be into the next corner flag, but
Brady whipping in, is he?
No, that's first man. It's fine.
That should be an instant red card, I think. Hitting the first man from a corner. It's just.
Oh, you're professional footballer. Like, you should not hit the first man.
That's one of the things you want Brady on the pitch for.
They're on the counter now. They're on the counter. There's about 4 of them. Oh, good defending there by Stevens.
I'm looking at Ireland on the attack here. I'm like, fuck's sake.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, they're fucking well in here, aren't they? Stevens did very well there.
Yeah.
That came over, is it?
It must be it, is it? Lima?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, game over. Full time. At the Red Star Belgrade Stadium. Serbia 3, Ireland 2, and that is 100% more goals than we scored last year. If you're taking any positives from it.
Oh God, that's depressing.
Yeah, I'll stop. We will be back at 10 to give full reaction with a few heads on that weren't on it before. But we might quickly just have a quick chat about it. Thoughts, I suppose. Yeah, what do you think?
It's disappointing to lose in that manner. Especially kind of say, right, we lost by a goal in the end, and I'm not trying to pin the blame on Mark Travers at all. Like it's his first cap, or it's the first start. Even it's probably a big moment for him and his family, and he's probably well aware that he hasn't maybe had a particularly great game. So I don't want to kick him while he's down, but that is a crucial point. Like you don't want to be like that moment though, to him, because there is going to be people on Twitter and stuff that are going to be nasty to him. There's no doubt about it. Oh yeah, 100%. So but you do have to say that critically, that second goal is really, really poor goalkeeping. So look, we've made it extremely hard for ourselves now going forward. Extremely hard. But there's a long way to go in this campaign. And we need to win. And win well on Saturday. 100%. That we need to bounce back quickly, because I feel like a win against Luxembourg puts a positive spin on this international break. If we anything other than a couple of goals against Luxembourg, like it's turns out to be like a poor start. Like it breeds into the next campaign where you'd feel negative about it. But on the whole, like. I was quite, like the new formation. Like I did like the new formation, like the way you pressed them. He didn't sit on the back foot. We did try and break them down. And overall, I'm not like overly like I don't feel overly disappointed with it just because of the performance. Because there's some games we might have lost that 2-0 under McCarthy or something like that. We kind of went for it. And we obviously got the 2 goals from it. I agree with you. Like as I said earlier on, I was excited for the game, but then I was kind of like, I'm expecting Ireland to lose this match. But we were competitive. We played well, and yes, that's not particularly a great level to be at, but that's the reality of where we are at the moment. That we are building for the future, and I'm quietly probably impressed and happy enough with some of the level of performance. Yes, we need to cut out those individual mistakes, but there's the makings of a good team within that team and within that squad and players who aren't there today. So it's not all doom and gloom, but it's still extremely disappointing to lose like that.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. And in terms of the goals, we can see it is disappointing. Like, there's not like there's no two ways about it. But we will be back at 10 o'clock to give our reaction to the game and get some analysis and stuff like that in. Maybe this is kind of a bit raw, or whatever you want to say. So we might just be able to sit on it for 15, 20 minutes and just kind of gather our thoughts on the match. But Liam, Breen, really appreciate you joining me tonight. We'll be back at 10. So make sure to join back. Breen, you'll be back as well, will you?
Yeah, be back. No worries.
Happy days. Lovely stuff.
All right.
And do like the stream if you did enjoy it, and subscribe as well if you haven't already on the road to 3K. We do really appreciate it. So yeah, thanks for watching. That's in a bit.